Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video. Now this one is going to be about how to build your authority as a creator. And this is just going to be completely uncut what I'm doing and hopefully you can learn something along the way. So let me get right into it. For those that are new here, my name is Jay Hyatt. I'm helping creators and coaches grow their online businesses through building a strong personal brand. I'm a college dropout. I dropped out of fashion university and decided to go all in on online business and building my personal brand and haven't really looked back since. So yeah, if you're new here, I'd really appreciate if you would subscribe as it helps me a lot. This year, I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. So yeah, we're just going to push it as hard as possible. So who is this for and who is this not for? Just so I'm not wasting your time. So this is not for complete beginners, right? I'm not helping people that are on the very, very beginning of online coaching or building a personal brand or online business. I'm for people that are maybe have a few clients, maybe have a bit of experience growing their brand, but they just want to take things to the next level. This isn't for people who want quick results or any shortcuts. This isn't for lazy, ambitious people or people that value money over impact. These are for people that value freedom over everything, that love helping people and making an impact, and that's an ambitious coach or consultant or creator that's ready to scale, and any agency owner or freelancer that wants to make more use of their time while creating more impact. So when it comes to building my authority as a creator, there's two different ways you can do that. And this is what I've just kind of summarized it into. And it's standing out and it's providing results. Those are the only two things that you can do to separate yourself and build authority. Because at the end of the day, authority is just when you are a leader within your market, when you're a leader or have a sort of leadership position within your niche or market. Now, you can do this by standing out, right? Being a niche of one and creating such a unique, blue ocean for yourself that everyone immediately recognizes you because you have such a strong brand. And then the second part is obviously just having really great results that everyone knows you because you have those great results. Now, let's start with the results because this is very straightforward. There's two ways you can do this. You can explain to people what you've achieved yourself when it comes to your own goals, and you can explain to people what you've achieved for others and their goals. So pretty straightforward in that regard. Now, what this video is mainly going to be about is how do you stand out? There's so many coaches, there's so many creators, and it's only increasing day by day by day. So how do you separate yourself? How do you make yourself so unique that people want to work with you and not work with anyone else? So there's three parts to this. And let's start with the first one, which is messaging. Now, a lot of you guys watching this might have heard messaging before, but don't really know what it means. Basically, messaging is having your value be communicated in a way that's most effective. That's pretty much it. Because when people get value from you, they're getting closer to buying and closer to trusting you. But a lot of you aren't packaging that value in a way that's easy for people to understand. So let me get into it. So there's a lot of stuff that we're going in today, okay? And shout out to Harry Needham because I got a lot of this stuff from him, from his stuff. And yeah, very, very powerful. So there's S pillars, right? And S pillars are 4 different types of content that all starts with the letter S. And this is how you can get your messaging on point. A lot of you guys are just creating either one of these and completely forgetting the rest and then wonder why they don't have any authority or why people don't trust them. And it's because they're missing out on a big piece of the pie. So let's get into the first one. So there's solve content. And solve gives people a solution within the piece of content that they're creating. For example, this is how you get six-pack abs, or this is how you can achieve a certain outcome. Now, what I've spoken in my content a lot is many people try to just solve content that can be solved by Google or ChatGPT. If someone is trying to, let's say, get six-pack abs, instead of saying go on a calorie deficit, do that, give people a belief shift their beliefs that can help them get towards that goal. If people want to get value, they're just going to search it on Google on AI platforms that are getting better and better and get the result in seconds. You aren't different if you just provide that same value that they can search up on the internet. What you have to do as a creator or as a coach is give people the solution by shifting their beliefs. For example, if I tell you this is how you grow your personal brand, you need a post, you need to be consistent, it's boring. Everyone has heard that. But what I should do is shift your belief around content, saying instead of just, posting content, being consistent, which isn't really the problem is that you just don't know how to get a cinematic style, or you don't know how to be consistent over the next year. So you need to reduce your friction. You need to download Blackmagic app and get a more cinematic video. So when it comes to solve content, shift people's beliefs. A lot of people think the problem is in a certain area and they never get results. And you have to tell them, look, the problem isn't this, it's this over here. And that's how you shift beliefs and give people a solution. Okay? So if you want more details on that, let me know. But you want to provide value in your content that solves a solution by shifting their beliefs. Okay? Share content. This is sharing your beliefs and showing people more about you. A lot of people end up being like glorified search engines by providing a tons of solve content and not actually sharing anything personal about themselves. And therefore they just become a commodity and they get replaced easily. So create this content, but do it in a way where you're obviously dividing it with these other bits of content as well. Okay, let me just take a sip of coffee real quick. Okay, sell content. So this is content where you're showing your problem and why it's important to solve it, case studies, testimonials, client wins, your methods, mechanisms, and call to actions to work with you. This is just telling people, hey, this is what I do. Do you want to work with me? A lot of people think, selling isn't good. The whole point of you building a brand is to help people, is to provide those transformations. If you don't sell, you're doing a disservice to the people that are following you. So make sure that you also put this content inside. It's super important. And now supply content. Supply content could be any one of these, right? Any of solve, share, or sell content, except that you have a call to action with the asset at the end of it, right? Comment this word to get this keyword. Let me go through an example of all of them. So you got solve content. Comment system, and I'll send over a video that shows you exactly how to overcome this problem in more detail. This one, comment game plan, and I'll show you exactly what I've planned for 2025 and how I'm going to get to my goals. Sell content, comment this word, and I'll show you how to overcome this problem through my unique mechanism. Okay? So that's just basically supply content is getting people deeper into your funnel. So like I said, this stuff is extremely important. So make sure that you're using solve content, you're using share content, sell content, and supply content within everything that you're doing and mix it up, okay? Because a lot of people will just do this and then fail their business. A lot of people will just do this and fail their business. A lot of people will just do this and fail their business, okay? It's the mix and match that makes it powerful, okay? So before I get onto some practical examples here of content that you can do to do this type of stuff, let me get into the difference between macro versus micro, which is basically just broad content versus specific content. I spoke in my previous videos that broad content is very powerful to grow your audience. The only difference is that broad content doesn't always get very qualified leads on your page, and I'll show you why. Okay, so macro is broad. How to build muscle and lose fat effectively. Very broad. Or how to be fit in your 20s. Very broad. Because it can apply to tons of people. Micro is specific. How to not slack on your diet in order to build muscle and lose fat while being in a busy job. Whatever. Something like that. Something specific. And the reason why specific content gets better leads on your page is because it's dealing with the problem that they have right at this second, a now problem. For example, if I make a video, how to get to your first $1 million as a coach, sure, it might get some views, it might get some interest. That's fine. But if I make a video, how to not get ghosted in the DMs as an online coach, boom, people take action on that because it's an emotional problem that they're dealing with right at this second. So make sure you do 80% specific and 20%, okay, excuse me for the drawing, and 20% broad. The reason is because we want to get people taking action on your content, and the broad content is just there to nurture and to grow your audience further and get more people into your funnel. So specific content will get people to take actions because it's talking about problems that they're experiencing right at this second. Okay? Hopefully that's understood. But like I said, a mix of this is important. Okay? A mix of this is very important. Let's get back into this. So here is 3 practical examples you can do right at this second that you can include in your brand, and it follows these S pillars, okay? So just so you know, these S pillars are kind of like the 4 buckets of content, and there may be a bit of content that is a share bit of content, a solve bit of content, and a supply bit of content all in one piece of content, because it shares your lifestyle, it solves a problem, and it supplies an asset as an example. So these are just like almost tools to think about, and these are specific content ideas. So this is us versus them content. Again, shout out to Harry Needham. Learned a lot from him. So let me get into, let's say, the middle example here. Personal brand versus profit brand. So Houston Cold on Instagram, he's basically he's comparing one group of people to another group of people, which stands for us versus them. A lot of people do this in marketing. It's very powerful. So personal brand versus profit brand. So everyone talks about a personal brand. This is what a profit brand is. And then he distinguishes it and makes him seem different from the crowd. An example of this could be jacked gentleman versus holistic health. Jacked gentlemen, for example, work out 3 times a week. They don't spend hours and hours in the gym, and they value their style and their lifestyle over their fitness, which means people that align with those values are going to find this very interesting. Okay, let's take this as another example. 7-figure coaching business. What you think matters, what actually matters. For you, you may have a fitness coaching business. You can say 6-figure abs. What you think matters, what actually matters. What you think matters, doing tons of cardio, going to the gym 7 times a week, and being consistent. What actually matters, being in a caloric deficit, having a system to be consistent, and having a great meal plan, for example. And this means that you are distinguishing yourself from the main consensus. Another way to do us versus them content is throw rocks at the enemy. Stop using lead magnets and ManyChat, right? From Harry Needham. Or you can do, for example, let's say you're a fitness coach. Stop walking for hours on the treadmill and do this instead. So you're throwing rocks at what people think they should do and give them your unique method. Let's say you say, go for 10,000 steps outside and get more nature to feel more connected with the earth, as an example. Hopefully you guys are following me here, but us versus them paints your solution as better from what everyone else is doing. Or it doesn't even picture it as better, but it pictures it as another option. So whoever aligns with your option more will be pulled more into your brand. As an example, on my brand, I've got coaches versus autonomy creators, right? Coaches, they burn themselves out. They're grinding all the time. Autonomy creators, they value their freedom. They work 4 hours a day. They only accept people that are completely aligned with them. And they're profit focused and want an empty calendar. So it's a different way of growing your coaching business. So it separates yourself from another group of people. So people that come to my page and align with this, they're going to feel drawn towards my brand. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's get into testimonials, which is, and by the way, this us versus them content, if we go back to these 4 buckets, us versus them content could be solve content and share content mostly. You're not going to be sharing too much about your lifestyle. However, that obviously could be, and mostly it's supply content. Okay. So let's go back into here. Testimonials. This is just sell content. Okay. You're sharing your results. You're sharing your unique way of getting results and taking people through the process. So this is just showing people testimonials, right? This can be in form of a video interview. This can be in form of a carousel like this. But it's just sharing your results and sharing what you can do. You can also share your own results in your own journey. Okay. Dream content. Now, dream content is content where you're sharing your own journey and your own goals. For example, on my YouTube channel, I'm going to make a video going over my 2025 goals. I've done like how I'm structuring my goals, but not my actual journey and my progress. And what makes this extremely powerful is when you share your goals, people that align with those goals are going to follow you and they're going to stay updated with those goals. And because they align with what you're going towards, they're going to want to jump on the bandwagon and work with you. For example, let's say you're someone that's more in the fitness space. I'm working out 3 hours per week to get below 10% body fat while going on vacation 4 times a year. And this is how I'm going to do it. For example, one of my clients, Sam, he's trying to do a 100-mile race. He's trying to do like a bodybuilding show. He's trying to do all of these things. And when he documents his goals and the journey behind it, people that align with those goals too are going to want to work with them. And this is the reason why it's called dream content, is because you're following your dreams, you're following your goals, and people that also share that same dream are going to want to work with you. So extremely powerful stuff. You can do this for content, you can do this for YouTube videos, you can do this for ads, a bunch of things, and it's very underrated. Okay, so that's messaging. Of course, I kind of went really quickly through this, but this is extremely important. If you don't have your messaging down, you're honestly a little bit fucked, because you need to get this down, because otherwise people will go to your brand and it'll be so surface level, they won't have the opportunity to even learn more about what you do and who you are as a person. So let's get into strategy. Strategy revolves around exactly how your brand is structured and your offer and all of those things, okay? Before I get into this top thing, let's get into strategy and ideas and identity, which is extremely important. And there's 3 things that people need to be sold on before they get indoctrinated into your brand, become a cult superfan, and decide to work with you. They need to be sold on you, okay? Your values, exactly what you do. For example, me, I'm a college dropout, dropped out of fashion school because I wanted to start a clothing business, realized I wasn't building any skills to build that. I dropped out and did my own thing. So if anyone's a college dropout or is in fashion, in design, what else, in travel, into freedom, they might align with me and want to work with me over someone that's, let's say, been in the corporate world or whatever, right? So sell yourself through, let's go back, let's connect things. Sell yourself through your share content. If you don't do share content, no one's going to know about you and they won't be sold on you as an individual. Okay, so they need to be sold on you. After that, they need to be sold on your mechanism. How do you get people to the end result? And if you've seen my other YouTube videos, hopefully it's here somewhere, yeah, you know that my mechanism is the creator for system, which means organic and ads to build your audience, content like Instagram and YouTube to nurture them, building leads through your email list, getting low ticket customers, having conversations to get high ticket clients. That is my mechanism. And that's how I get results. And it's a flywheel, so it always continues and always keeps people within my world. And that's how I get results, and that's my unique mechanism. By the way, if you want to learn more about how this works, the first link in the description will go to another video where you can learn a little bit more about this. But let's go back to where we were and not get ahead of ourselves here. So your mechanism, like what does your mechanism look like? Maybe it's a 3-phase system on taking someone from skinny to shredded, or from skinny to jacked, whatever it might be. Or maybe from being a loser that gets no dates to someone that gets 1 date a week. That is your mechanism. Okay? And people need to learn about that. How do they learn about that? Through sell content, where you talk about the problem, where you share about your unique mechanism, or where you supply them with deeper videos that explain how that works. Okay? So let's go to the next step, your outcome. This, believe it or not, is maybe 10% of the equation. So let's say you got 45%, actually let's say 50% is about your mechanism, how you get people there. 40% is you and who you are as a person, and 10% is your outcome. So your outcome could be, for example, for me, it's taking a online creator, a coach to 20K a month, working 4 hours a day and having leverage. That's my outcome. It's very simple. For you, it could be getting 1 date a week. Let's say for someone that's in fitness, it could be getting to under 10% body fat, or building X amount of muscle. So this is your outcome. And I'm going to be honest, you're going to share that outcome with a lot of other creators. A lot of other people will have the same outcome that you provide. What makes you different is the way that you get them there. Some person will say you need to have, 200 grams of protein, take a bunch of protein powder every single day. You might have, do 10,000 steps a day and eat a lot of steak. You still get them to the outcome, but it's just your way, your method of getting there. There's lots of ways to get to the outcome, but your method is what matters, okay? And that's your outcome. So now that we're finished with ideas and identity, let's talk about branding that, okay? Because obviously your mechanism can be branded. I brand my mechanism as the creator 4. Some people don't have branded mechanisms, and it sounds really, really bad. For example, some people's mechanism is 10,000 steps a day, gym 4 times a week, and eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Like, does that sound attractive to you? Probably not. Or you could call it the holistic health hijack blueprint. Whatever, holistic health blueprint. Now it sounds interesting. Now it sounds unique to you. And that's how you can stand out. Your outcome. The outcome that I branded this under is being an autonomy creator. Okay, so whoever works with me, my goal is to get them to 20K a month and be an autonomy creator where you have freedom in your life. And that's the outcome that I branded. For example, for a fitness coach, it could be, I want you to become a jacked gentleman. Someone that's jacked, someone that values their lifestyle, that is stylish, that values freedom, as an example. So you want to brand bits of your business in order to stand out. So that's strategy, okay? After strategy, we got the final piece of the puzzle, which I'm not going to really talk too much about in this video, mainly because design does depend on the type of person you are, okay? Personally, because I went to fashion school, I did graphic design, I'm very into art, I value design a lot. I value how my design looks, how people feel when they get immersed into my brand. And that is all about your design language, right? So if you look at my page, it's got a certain feel to it. It's got this dark, this luxurious, this type of feeling that you get when you get onto my page. And I've got that throughout my whole branding. I've got that throughout my YouTube. I've got that throughout my presentations that I do with my clients. And just really nailing that design element and that design language and that feel when people get into your brand is quite important, because it separates yourself a lot from the crowd. Some people might have very light colors, very, very pastel colors, very cutesy, whatever. And that's going to give people a certain feel about them. Mine is sort of eerie. Mine is sort of mysterious. Mine is dark. So defining your design and how you want people to feel when they come across your brand is very important. And like I said, I'm not going to dive into this because I don't want this to be strictly about design for this video, but it's important. For example, I use black and I use this yellow color on all of my design elements. I use cinematic photos to create my lifestyle pictures. I use black and white to create my emblems. And that's going to separate myself from so many people because no one thinks about that. My photo is very dark. It's very mysterious. It's like in a horror movie. So that's important. And it's important for you to think about. So just understanding these three elements, messaging, strategy, and design, is going to get you to stand out. And standing out and having great results is going to build your brand. Okay? So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm just going to keep this nice and short. If you want to learn more about how my unique mechanism works, which is the Creative Force system, click the first link in my bio. If you have any questions, you can either book a call with me in order to grow your brand at 20K a month, or you can message me on Instagram as well. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I would love to get your feedback on this in the comment section below. Please subscribe. It helps out a ton. Let's get to 10K followers this year. And yeah, have a great day. See ya.